Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm bringing you part 1 of what Darth Maul trained Anakin. Now, I'm really excited for you guys to see this part. I'm really excited to start this new Star Wars story in Star Wars fan fiction. So, like with my previous Star Wars stories, Star Wars fan fictions, it will be 3 to 4 parts long. Again, really excited for you guys to see where this one's going. I'm really enjoying doing this one. Like I say with all the other ones, I really hope I conveyed all the scenes, all the atmospheres to you guys like I see them in my head when I'm writing it, and I really hope you guys enjoy this story and can really get immersed and captivated in it. But before we get into the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. These take a really long time to do with all the writing and everything, so yeah, it'd be great if you could drop a like, subscribe, and I'd really appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. We begin in the city of Theed on Naboo in the Royal Starport. Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi walk towards the large industrial door with Padme Amidala and the Royal Naboo security force personnel. As they approach the door, it opens, revealing a cloaked figure, looking up towards the group with his menacing, hatred-filled eyes. Qui-Gon informs the group that him and his apprentice will handle the Sith warrior, Padme leading the rest of the group in the direction of an alternative route towards the throne room. The Sith assassin removes his hood, revealing his face with natural striping embellished with tattoos and a head crowned with horns. He grabs his lightsaber from his utility belt and ignites both blades, one after the other. The Jedi grab their lightsabers and the two sides engage in a duel. The duel plays out similar to in episode 1, leading them through the Theed power generator, fighting throughout the maze of machinery, energy beams, conduits, and deep shafts of melting pits. The group eventually reach the laser barriers and the two Jedi are split up, with Obi-Wan Kenobi waiting behind the last laser barrier as his master duels the Sith assassin. The two duel, Maul attacking with aggressive flurries and strikes, Qui-Gon Jinn defending in elegant combinations, until suddenly, in one final flurry, Maul hits Qui-Gon in the face with his lightsaber hilt, knocking him back, and impales him in the stomach with his blade, with Qui-Gon Jinn falling to his knees as his body collapses to the floor. Obi-Wan, still watching, yells out in a mixture of pain and anger, looking at his fallen master. He waits behind the laser barrier, Maul not laughing or gloating, but instead simply changing stance and preparing to fight his next opponent. The laser barrier retracts and Obi-Wan charges Maul, the two dealing strikes and heavy blows in a fast-paced exchange, with Obi-Wan managing to cut Maul's double-bladed hilt in half, leaving him with a single saber, until finally Maul utilises the Force, pushing Obi-Wan backwards and into the reactor shaft, with the Jedi grabbing onto a small ledge protruding from the walls. Obi-Wan looks up at the Sith assassin, seeing Qui-Gon's lightsaber next to him, jumps up and over Maul, using the Force to grab the lightsaber, landing behind him. Maul, in quick succession, uses the Force to grab the other half of his lightsaber hilt, now on the floor, and turns around. Obi-Wan slashes towards his opponent's torso, Maul blocking it with one of his lightsabers, igniting his other, and severing Obi-Wan's hand, throwing him into the endless pit. Maul looks down into the reactor shaft to see nothing in sight for what looked like forever. He turns around and presents a holoprojector from his utility belt and contacts Lord Sidious. The hooded figure appears, projecting a blue glow on the Sith assassin's face. "I've dealt with the Jedi and the apprentice protecting Queen Amidala," Maul says.
"Good. Now complete your mission and apprehend the Queen."
"Yes, Lord Sidious," Maul says. The hologram dissipates and Maul begins to walk out of the room until he reaches the door and suddenly stops. He remembers the child he had seen on Tatooine and how he had sensed him earlier in the hangar as he left the planet's atmosphere. He turned around and walked back to the reactor shaft, picking up Qui-Gon's lightsaber from Obi-Wan's severed hand. He then rushed out of the room and back through the Theed power generator and into the hangar. He jumped into the cockpit of a Naboo starfighter and flew out of the hangar towards the Trade Federation blockade. As he exited the planet's atmosphere and into space, he saw small pieces of debris fly past him, until after not long, he was surrounded by debris from the Lucre Hulk-class battleship that Anakin had destroyed moments ago. Having to maneuver through the minefield of metal, he knew that the boy must have had something to do with this. A Lucre Hulk-class battleship could not be destroyed by even the best of pilots, especially not in an N1 starfighter. No, someone special would be needed to do this. Someone strong in the Force. As Maul flew through the debris, he saw a squadron of Naboo starfighters with the chromium finishes on the forward surfaces of the starfighters shimmering off the distant stars. He flew by them and joined their formation, getting within range to contact the aircrafts, saying through the starfighters' communications, "Queen Amidala requests the squadron returns to the Royal Starport hangar immediately." A boy's voice can be heard through the communications, saying, "But we were just getting started." The squadron leader then questions, "Are you sure she wanted our squadron back?" "Yes, the Lucre Hulk you destroyed will have deactivated the Trade Federation ground forces. She needs all starfighters back for preparations. It would be unnecessary casualties keeping you up at the blockade." Maul replies, "Alright people, the Queen's orders are the Queen's orders. Let's turn around." The squadron returns to Naboo as the city of Theed begins to come into view. They fly into the hangar one after another and land their starfighters. Maul lands last at the far side of the hangar as the pilots begin to get out of their starfighters. Maul steps out of the cockpit, the pilots smiling and celebrating after their recent victory in the sky, until their faces suddenly drop as they see Maul walking down the hangar. Shouting begins as they run around trying to grab their blasters. Maul walks down the middle of the hangar, taking them out one by one, force choking them, slicing through them with his lightsaber, throwing them against the walls, leaving no one alive. The squadron leader shouts at Anakin to run. Anakin gets back in the cockpit of the Naboo starfighter and begins to take off, until suddenly the starfighter jolts still. Anakin looks behind him and sees Maul stood with one hand pointing out towards the starfighter and the other one with his lightsaber slashing through the last of the remaining pilots. Anakin redirects all the starfighter's power to the engines, trying to escape the killer's grasp, causing the engines to malfunction and spew out a dark smoke. The starfighter fell to the floor with a massive crash as the large mass of metal hit the ground and the engines begin to go up in flames. Maul walks over to the starfighter, throwing the cockpit windshield to the side using the Force, and pulls Anakin out of the burning starfighter. They stand in silence for a minute as the young boy tries to gather himself. "You are strong in the Force, boy. That's why the Jedi took you with them on Tatooine." "Did you hurt them, the Jedi?" "I did, because they are weak. That's why they couldn't free your mother from slavery. But I can. You would be weak too, like them, if you would have become a Jedi." "But the Sith are evil." "Maybe. From a certain point of view, the Jedi are evil. They probably wouldn't have even let you join their foolish order, because you are too old. They only indoctrinate young children, taking them from their families and brainwashing them with their weak mentality and ways. Sith and Jedi are the same, except we Sith understand our full potential and we use it, not restraining ourselves with rules and ridiculous moralities." Maul says, "I could have taken Queen Amidala, or killed her because of the Jedi's incompetence and weakness, whereas a Sith would have the strength to protect the ones they love." Anakin, looking down to the floor, thinking about what he is saying, lots of thoughts running through his mind. Could he maybe be right? But the Jedi were good and kind. "You will come with me, and I will train you in the ways of the Sith. Or I can put you back in that burning starfighter. The choice is yours." Anakin, with no other choice, and still with lots of thoughts rushing through his head, looks up at Maul, saying, Okay, but I should know your name. I am Maul, Darth Maul, but you will refer to me as Master. Maul takes Anakin to the Scimitar, his personal starship, located on the outskirts of the city. They get on the starship and leave Naboo. Maul receives a transmission from Lord Sidious. Sidious saying,
I assume you captured the Queen.
Maul responding with a lie to cover up his time spent recruiting his new apprentice. No, Lord Sidious. She was escorted off of the planet before I could reach her. Lord Sidious replying in an agitated voice.
Very disappointing, my apprentice. I do not expect you to fail next time.
Of course, my lord. It will not happen again. The transmission ends and Maul turns around and walks out of the room to his new apprentice. Looking down at the boy, he hands him Qui-Gon's lightsaber, saying, "Let's begin." So that's the video for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to stay tuned for part 2. It should be out within the next few days and I can't wait to share that part with you guys as well. There's also tons of cool content I've got planned for the future. Lots more reactions, Star Wars fan fictions, Star Wars lore videos, Star Wars news videos, and all that cool stuff. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future content. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, that's the video for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
Show me the one whose safety deems such destruction.